Okay, I think there is some problem with the Wi-Fi, so for time we let it be. Okay. So these are the data types which we have seen. Now we have seen, I mean, different representation. So now how much size byte will take? 1 byte. 1 byte means 8 bits. Okay. And what is the first position will take? Because it is your positive negative, both will be. So because byte is signed, so it can have negative number also, it can have positive number. So whenever it will start with 0, what does that mean? It is negative. If it is 1 means positive. Okay, so this is a thing which we have seen. Okay, then we have gone through all those. I mean, why byte is very famous? Why byte is very famous? Because we use this file system, file transfer or network transmission will happen only through byte. Okay, so that's why byte is very famous. Now what is short? Short means 2 bytes. Okay, why people don't use short these days? Because most of the compilers are 32 bits. Okay, 32 or 64 bits. Now what is the size of int? 4 byte. 4 byte means here how much? 32 bits. Okay, and this thing we have seen, long we have seen. Then float, double. When we use float, when we use double? If you are having I mean 4 to 5 decimal points, then what you go for? You will go for float. If you want to go for more accuracy, I mean very lengthy, okay, 0.000123456 you want to go, okay, then which one you should go for? Double, because float cannot accommodate so big number. Okay, so this is a thing which we have seen. And char we have done, right? Char we have done. Just tell me till which we have done. These things we have done. This one we have done, this one we have done. I think we will start from here. We will start from here, right? Okay. So this one which we have already discussed. What is primitive data type? What is primitive data type? These 8 are primitive data types. These 8 are primitive data types. Okay, data types can be divided into 3 types. Okay, what is the first type? This is called primitive data type. What is the first type of data type? Primitive data type. Okay, so this is one of the one. Now second type of data type is called reference data type. What is called? Reference data type. Okay, reference, or we can say it is a user defined data type. What is called? Reference data type or user defined data type. Okay, so try to understand. Sometimes you will create one class, right? So class can be something like public class animal. Okay, so what is the name of this particular class? Animal. Now you want to create different animals. Okay, animal 1, animal 2, animal 3. Similar to earlier class, what we are having int I, j, k, f. You are having some sort of variable names, right? So similarly for all the classes you can create object as your variables. Are you able to understand? So those also are type of data type, right? So these are nothing but your reference data type basically. Okay, reference, or what we can say, you can say it is a user defined data type. Okay, so if you want to see in practical, let's open it and let's open our Eclipse. So these are the reference data type. Okay, and third type of data type is nothing but those are called wrapper class. What are those called? Wrapper class, or you can say wrapper data type. This is the third type of data type. Okay. What is the third type of data type? Wrapper class, or you can say wrapper data type. Anyone is fine. Okay. And what is wrapper class? What is wrapper class? Wrapper class is nothing but class representation of your primitive data type. Class representation of primitive data type. What is wrapper class or wrapper data type? These are nothing but class representation of your primitive data type. Okay, so what are primitive data types we are having? We can go up. These are the primitive data types. So tell me, what is the wrapper class for byte? Just make your first letter is capital, B-Y-T. Observe very closely. This is primitive, this is wrapper. What is the only difference here? B is capital, here B is small. Okay, Now if you want to have short, then what is again SHORT, because as we have already studied, class first letter will always be capital. You cannot have a small letter as your first letter in the class, right? So that's why what will happen here, it will be your S will be your capital. Now tell me what is the wrapper class. For only int and char you have to write the complete one, other things will be just make your first letter capital. Okay, so for int what will be the name? Integer. Okay, only int and char, others just make your first letter capital. Tell me long, what will be there? Capital LONG. Okay, float, what will happen? Capital FLOAT. Okay, and double, tell me how will do? Capital DOUBLE. Okay, char will be full. Okay, so you have to write character, something like this. Okay, and what about boolean? First letter capital. That's all. Got it, right? So all things are remaining same, only first letter will be capital except integer and character. So you can identify your wrapper class very easily by those naming conventions which we have studied. Okay, so this is nothing but these are the wrapper class basically. These are nothing but wrapper data type. Okay, why we need it, we will study while going through. Why? Because see, Java is object oriented programming language. Okay, so whatever we do, it must be object. So there will be some scenario where you cannot pass primitive data type, you must pass object. In this case, what will pass? We will pass this, we will pass this. We cannot pass this. Why? Because primitive data types are not supported in some of the places basically. Okay, so you must have the object. And now if you want to create object, how will you go? You must have class. Without class, can you create object? You cannot create, right? So we have to create the object of this one. We cannot pass this. Why? Because in few places primitive data types are not supported basically. So these are the one. Okay, so now let me open our yeah, so we are doing here only. Okay, now after Java 1.5, what is the latest version of Java? 1.8. 8.0 is the latest version. Now after 1.5, one of the new concept came called auto boxing. What is the concept called? Auto boxing. What is the concept called? Auto boxing. Okay, so let's try to understand what is auto boxing. Okay. Okay, so what is auto boxing? Auto boxing is nothing but it is one of the very simple mechanism, okay, by which your primitive data can be converted to wrapper, wrapper can be converted to primitive. I mean conversion of one data type to another data type is called auto boxing. Okay, so what is auto boxing? Auto boxing is nothing but mechanism by which primitive data type can be converted to wrapper, okay, or vice versa. Primitive can be converted to wrapper or vice versa. I mean depending upon your things you can do. Okay, and this is done by Java. Okay, so as we are mentioning auto means automatically it happens. You need not to worry about that. Okay, automatically your Java will do this. Okay, so Java does it by default. Java will do it by default. Okay. So let's try to do a very simple example by which we will be able to understand. Okay, so by the time it will start, we will try to do here only. Okay, suppose if you are having some of those things called int I equal to suppose 10. So what is the value of I? 10. Tell me, this is a wrapper or it is a primitive? Primitive. Int will be your primitive, right? Now what is the wrapper representation of int? Integer. Okay, so we'll write integer in equal to 10. Got it, right? So now this I is representing primitive, this I is what it is representing? It is representing your wrapper. Okay, wrapper object. Now tell me, if I'll write the code something like in equal to I, tell me, will it work or not work? Got it? What I'm to say? What I'm doing over here is, what we are doing, you understood, right? So in is integer, which is a object, and I is a primitive. Primitive means it is not an object, basically. Okay, so tell me, this particular line is valid or not? Sure, we'll check it. Okay, so we'll check it. Let this be started. Okay, similar way, if we'll write some code something like float f equal to 10.5 f, always float will have what is the word f at the end of this. Okay, so now tell me, if I'll write this code, is it correct? No. Why? Because by default Java, whatever floating numbers are there, those will be converted into double. Got it, right? So now 10.5 is not a float, it is a double. So now how to convert your float in double into float? You must have f. It can be capital or small. Okay, so if you write like this, it will not be valid, basically. So it will give you some sort of compilation problem. You have to write this. So what happened to this? Okay, we will close it. Forgot to restart my machine. Okay. Okay, so primitive can be of one of the 8 types: char, boolean, byte, okay, short, all the things. Reference variable, what are those are called? Object, as you discuss. Animal, dog, you will create many classes, right? So you want to create the object of those will be called your reference variable. Okay, what is the third one? Wrapper class, which is nothing but capital F, float, byte, all those things we have seen. Okay, what is the last one? Auto boxing. What is auto boxing? Conversion of wrapper to primitive or vice versa. Okay, so now if we'll write the code like this, it is valid. There is no problem. Okay, so why no problem? Because Java will automatically do this auto boxing. Okay, you need not to worry about that. Okay, so that particular mechanism, I mean, Java is automatically doing converting from primitive to wrapper, right? So this is nothing but auto boxing. Got it, right? So what is auto boxing? Auto boxing is nothing but conversion of primitive to wrapper or wrapper to primitive, basically. So this is valid. Okay, so when we'll run this now, that time we'll come to know. Okay, yeah. Now let's try to go to. Okay. I will write some of this code. You just have to tell me, okay, whether it is correct or wrong. Okay, so I will write byte. We were discussing one of those questions, very old doubt which we had. Okay, so I'll go back to our thing. Then I told I'll tell you later. Okay, so we were discussing one thing that time, something was valid, it seems. Okay, so where it was, I'll go back to our previous thing. where we were discussing one question. Do you remember one thing I told? I'll tell you later. Yeah, I think this is the place. This is the place, right? So what was the question? Byte B equal to character. Do you remember I had told you I will discuss this later point of time? Okay. So now it is time to discuss that basically. Okay. Now it is the time to discuss, because you understood all those data types, right? So now you will be able to understand whatever whatever we are doing now, we will be able to understand. Okay. So try to understand. Okay. I'll give you a very small chart you have to remember. Okay. And whenever you will have some sort of boxing, what is boxing? Boxing means you are converting one data type to another data type basically. Auto boxing means Java will do automatically. Okay. Now whenever you will do boxing or whenever you will convert one data type to another data type, you just have to remember the chart which we are going to develop now. Okay. So something like, tell me if I am having some sort of integer int I equal to 10. Okay. Then if I am having short equal to, maybe I'll give you 100. Okay, I'll give you this number, and suppose I'm having some number called float equal to 80.3f. Okay, and I'm having one long, I mean we have to give those variable name sh. Okay, here f l equal to something 90 point long, right? So long means you can mention like this, 90l. Not mandatory to have l, but you can mention it. Now tell me if I'll do sh equal to I, is it correct or not? Got it? What I am telling? I am converting integer to short. Is it valid or not? Got it, right? What my question is, if you are able to understand this, then you can understand the previous question also, what we are discussing about. Okay. Similarly, if I will do something like, tell me L equal to F is valid or not. What L means, it is long. What you are passing? Float. Is it valid or not? Is it valid or not? Okay. So based on what you will decide whether it is valid or not. Got it? Huh? Yeah. Which one? This one. Okay. So short equal to I is valid, you meant to say, right? Which one? This one is valid? This one is valid, or this one? This one. Based on what you told, it is valid. Tell me. So, but auto boxing is same data type, na? Int into integer, float into float. Okay, so we will see that. I mean, why it is valid and why it is not valid, we will see. Okay, so you just have to remember one small diagram which I will give you. Okay, you just remember it. You will be able to. I mean, you will be able to answer this question basically. Okay, so the diagram is very simple. Okay, so first one is byte. Byte is the smallest one, right? So byte. Okay, then short, you got it, right? Now below one you are having char, this side you are having char. Okay, char. Here also we'll have one diagram. Okay, and both will meet here. Okay, int. Okay, then where it will go? It will go to long or float. I mean, both can be possible. Okay, so long. Then not this down. This diagram is very important. Okay, this diagram will keep on using for maybe more than 20 times in our maybe Android or Core Java. Okay, this is very important diagram which you have to remember. Okay, so now float, and the last one is your double. Okay, just have to remember this diagram. Okay, so this is meeting point. Okay, character, and this one I am not able to draw anything over there, so only I am not having any error, but ultimately this one should come here, this one should come here. Okay, okay, so any data from left side to right side is completely valid. Left to right is valid assignment, right to left is not valid. Any data left to right is valid, right to left is not valid. Very simple. Okay, so by this, can you tell me this one is valid or not? This one is valid or not? This one is valid or not? I is a integer. I is a integer, and where you are passing? Short. So tell me, valid or invalid? Integer short. What you are doing? Not valid. Got it? What I mean to say? Okay. Now long to, okay. Now if I'll do I equal to sh, tell me, is it valid or not? It is perfectly valid. Got it, right? That's what this diagram is very important. I am telling again and again. Okay, so left to right assignment is valid, right to left is not valid. Okay, so this one we should stop this stupid thing. Got it, right? So left to right is valid, right to left is not valid. Okay, why? Because try to understand. Okay, so a byte is having one byte, right? It will contain 1 byte. Okay, short how much it will take? Tell me how much short will take? 2 byte. Okay, now char how much it will take in Java? Tell me. 2 byte. 1 byte will be by your 1 byte by your normal one. Okay, so 256, right? 256. Okay, so more than 256 is 2 byte. Okay, yeah. Now int will be your how much? Tell me. 4 byte. Okay, now your long, tell me how much? 8 bytes. 8 bytes. Okay, float how much? 4 bytes. 4 bytes. How much double? 8. Okay, so we will remove this byte by bit. We will just mention those numbers. Okay, so that we will be able to understand it easily. Are you able to understand what we are discussing? Okay, so now tell me, if what is the problem happens if integer is assigned to short? Okay, yes. So suppose, try to understand, if I am having one small room, this big room, this is 1 byte, this is 1 byte, okay, and this is 1 byte, and this is 2 byte. Now, can you keep this much big material to this much big box? Can you do that? You cannot do that, right? So that's why it is not valid. Are you able to understand? You cannot put bigger data into your smaller data. Okay, yeah, I'll come back to that. I mean, I got a point what you meant to say. Okay, so I'll come over there. Now, we'll just put like this. Yeah, now it is good with notice. So that's why byte can be converted to short, but short cannot be converted to byte. Why? Because you are having this bigger size basically. So you can convert, you can do the casting, but it is not guaranteed that data will be persist. Maybe some data you will miss. Why? Because it is bigger, right? Bigger it will be converted to small. You don't know basically. Okay. So let's try to do this over there. So. Okay, yeah, now try to understand. All the other things are fine. Where the problem is here. Are you able to see? I am telling long can be converted to float. Are you able to understand? Here how much by bit it is taking? 8 bit, and float is taking 4 bit. Now you will ask me, sir, you told me this much big, okay, you are putting inside this much, now also this much, you will ask me, right? Got it, right? So this question will be definitely coming into picture, okay. So now the answer is very simple, try to understand, okay. So suppose if I'll go to one room, okay, suppose this one room is here, okay. So there how many chairs are there? Suppose 50 chairs are there. How many chairs are there in one room? 50 chairs, okay. And in one chair only one person can sit. In one chair how many person can sit? Only one person. Then how many person can sit here? 50%. Got it, right? But I am having one more room where I am having 25 chairs. How many chairs are there? 25 chairs. Okay, and each chair 2 person can sit. Got it, right? Suppose 2 person can sit. Okay, so if 2 persons are sitting here, then how many person can sit here? 50. Are you able to understand? So it's not about only data type, what is the size of data type, it's also matter the representation of your data type. Are you able to understand? So this float is long is represented is different way and float is represented in different way. Got it, right? So whatever data long can contain, float can contain double of the data. Why? Because the representation is different. I mean, okay. So in one place 2 person can also sit. Got it, right? But in case of long, 1 person means one only. You cannot have 2 person. You cannot divide it basically. Okay. So because of the memory representation, what will happen? Long can be converted into float. Got it, right? So you just have to remember this diagram. Okay. So as I am telling again and again, we will use this diagram, I mean, more than 20 times while going through in the class. Okay. So very simple. Byte, short. Okay. So character, all those things. So let's see. This one will not start today. Okay. So okay. Got it, right? So that's why I told byte, short, char, then int, all the from left to right all are correct. So you can assign left data to right side, right data to left side, you might lose something. Okay, so it is you should not do this basically. So left to right is perfectly valid, right to left is not valid. Okay, so now can you tell me whether this one is correct or not? This one is correct or not? Float f equal to 10L. Float f equal to 10L. Valid or not? Yes, it is completely valid. Why? Because long we are converting to float. Left side is long, float. No problem. Got it, right? So that's why many questions will be based on this particular diagram. So you have to remember this. Very important. Okay. Yeah, so that's what I told. Long and float follow different memory representation. That's what we have discussed now. Okay. So char and short can be interchanged. Okay. So char and short, these can be interchanged. Okay. So that's what sign, and we will discuss that after some time. Okay. So any doubt we are having whatever we have studied? Okay. So now we will try to understand how your variables are stored in memory. Okay, so before coming next class, because this is little complicated, okay, so I will suggest you to go through one of those book. I will tell you the page number, go through that page number, okay, and I will discuss that. Then it will be easier for you, because you also will come to know in better way. Okay, so you go to our book, the book which we have got, SCJP book. The book which is shared with you. Okay, so I will go to Core Java. This is the book which is shared with you, right? This is the one. I'll share it with you also. Okay, so I'll give you access to that book. Now page number I don't remember. I think 184. Let's try it. Yes. Okay, so this book, where will go? You go to page number 184. We are going to study the same thing in the next class. Okay, so go to 184 to you go till page number 185. I mean 2 pages only, but very important in terms of representation. 184 to, I think, yeah, 184, go one more page, 186. 184 to 186. Okay, so before coming, just understand what is there, then it will be very easy for you to understand, I mean, next tutorial. Okay, so yeah, we will finish here only. Okay, so